John, Phil Ford. Phil Ford.
That Phil Ford played for the North Carolina. He was a guard for Dean Smith in the 80s.
Phil Ford at
Phil Ford
at Two Rivers Ford. You can imagine the trucks we're talking about, from the F-150 to the work trucks. I want to give a big shout out and congratulations to Tammy Jacobs, their marketing director, Red Tomato Marketing, and the old John Barker family. They had Phil Ford, where they have collected food for the past couple weeks to go to Second Harvest Food Bank and Mount Juliet Help Center, emergency food, clothing, and assistance. And over 19 businesses committed. They raised all the food that they needed. It was absolutely beautiful. A great job. And congratulations, John Barker. John owns a big suite at the Bridgestone for the Preds game. And for the business that helped out the most, Tammy drew a name, and congrats to Pi Barker Fire and Safety. 16 people from that company are going to the Preds game courtesy of John Barker and Two Rivers Ford, and that's the overall picture is family-run, family-owned. John, you just experienced it buying your Mustang. They want to help you get in the car that you want.
They are such a big part of the community. Just another example. It's Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
It's the Second Cup of Joe and John with Joe Elvis and John Dwyer.
Joe!
Now that I got a camera, I'm just playing to it.
You're going to be, have you talked to your agent about this? Do you have to sign? Okay. You're going to get double of nothing.
I'm sure you'll critique my performance on the camera.
There's no question. You can also in the YouTube comments section and all that below us. So do that, subscribe, all the things with YouTube. Joe, very few things exceed expectations in life. I want you to think of maybe one for you. One would be my marriage to Lindley. I'm a 2.0, and I'm not sucking up to her. We're fine. I mean, I'm not trying to get... No, this time. But going to the Masters, it's an outside cathedral that's better than on TV, and you're like, it can't be. And then I was out in Los Angeles recently for a concert with Lindley, and we did the driverless Waymo.
Oh.
Would you ever...
No.
I'm sorry, can I get it out first? Would you ever do... Because we went there and we saw that, and we went, no, we're going to Uber. And then we finally had afternoon wine or whatever. We said, let's do that.
You got to get a buzz on.
It was safer than anything I ever thought. So? Yeah, I promise you, you're going to do that.
Well, you did a promo for our previous show for Two Rivers Ford on the Second Cup of Joe and John Facebook, and it's you and Lindley in the back, and the steering wheel's moving. There's no one in the front. It's like something out of a movie or Speed Racer.
It's like a ghost up there.
It was odd.
And what was the movie, Mr. Magoo? What was the one that back in the 60s? There was not Herbie Love. There was one of those that there was a ghost.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway,
Adam's Family.
Yeah. No, anyway, I'm just saying, what in your life has exceeded expectations?
What evidently?
Can you believe Hogan's Heroes got like the green light?
No.
Can you try to do Hogan's Heroes today?
No.
Anyway,
we digress.
Give me something in your life that you're like, that's.
First time I ever flew an airplane.
Yes.
You're like, I'm off the ground, and now you have to do something. You can't go, let's stop. Let's rewind. You can't. Yeah. You're off. And just like you in the car, you were off and going. Can't do anything about it. Although just last week, a driverless car went headfirst headed towards a school bus, and at the last second, it turned away. So I'm just not sold on all of it yet.
It was the school buses. I promise you, it wasn't Waymo's issue.
What are you defending driverless cars?
No,
now?
I'm just saying. We're going to find out from our cool guests what has, besides being a. I'm going to flip this. I want him to exceed our expectations. Okay. How's that for pressure?
It's on.
Okay, let's do this. I got to hit the right button. All right, we're going to do it. Okay. So far, so good.
Hey, we know people. Let's take a spin through Joe and John's Rolodex.
John, we're back to the beginning. It's B. We're on the letter B. Wife Amy was on the show a while back. She was terrific, and I think John's going to be even better. John Billings, and I know out there you've seen John. Maybe he was performing with Wynonna Judd. Maybe it was Donna Summer, or maybe his current gig, Mickey Dolenz, for the Monkees, and the instrument he plays. Well, let me ask you this, John. How do you get a bass player off your porch?
I don't know. Just give me the punchline.
You pay him for the pizza.
No, way to go to insult our guest.
It is bass player John Billings on the Second Cup of Joe.
And John.
Sorry about that, John.
I tell that joke.
Do you have a bass joke?
I love that. That's the one.
Oh, just that one?
The only one. But I have to correct you. This will not be better than my wife Amy's podcast. She
was
stellar.
striking. We should have done video with her and not you.
Blew it. You should have done video with her, and she would have really emoted even more. Believe me.
Well, you guys are like Nashville's first couple. Just to rewind on Amy's show a little bit, Amy, your all's company is the Nashville Jam Session out at Nashville Airport.
That's
when
right.
you go through
That's
security,
right.
You're going to see Nashville Jam Session, and Amy's literally a jam maker like you'd eat. You guys have owned restaurants. Amy's been in the music business. You've taken it to another level with your performance. So, we asked Amy, maybe we'll ask you, can you work with your wife and still love her and be together?
Yes, you can. But, we
What
also...
are you going to say?
I know. See, John knows. He knows.
Because I work with my... Yeah,
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
But you know what it's like. We each have our own responsibilities, right? So she takes care of these things. I take care of those things. We meet in the middle and go... Are we going to high five? We did our thing? Yeah, we are. We're all good. We're caught up.
Good. And Mickey Dolenz, you've been playing. My wife, an enormous Monkees fan, and we just randomly went to the Franklin Theater when you played here. Mickey Dolenz, the only surviving Monkee right now, and he's just fantastic. The show is set up with endless video back from the day, and Mickey is a great storyteller, and he talks about everybody that was in the band and how scenes came together. And he was saying, they loved the Beatles because they wanted to be a band, and the Beatles loved them because they wanted to be on TV more. Describe how you got this gig and what it's like touring the country with a Monkee.
He brought the pepperoni pizza, and then to Mickey, and
you know
said,
what? All right, I'm gonna tell something on myself that I don't tell many people. I was a pizza guy in Los Angeles. I was a Domino's guy.
No way.
I was between jobs. I was a pawnbroker, and I got fired from my first pawnbroking job, and I had a second pawnbroking gig coming up in a few weeks that I was going to go to, and I was a pizza guy. That was my fill-in job. So the same thing happened on the second pawn shop job. I ended up moving to another part of town in Los Angeles. So I was in West LA Domino's, and then I was in Orange County Domino's, which tips a lot more in Orange County, whole lot more. But no, I was a pizza guy.
Delivering the pizza pie.
That's why the jokes were so good.
Were you bass playing out there?
I was bass playing out there, but it was a real struggle. I will not, I can't elaborate on how tough it was out there for me. It was 8 years. I always tell people I did my time out there. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like when I left. But now I go back. I love it. When I get to go back now, I've got a job.
Yes.
And I can rent a car and have a hotel room I can stay in. So I go and I hit my favorite restaurants. I see my favorite people. I love the venues there. And then you know what I do? Leave.
Yep.
Was it tough because, John, you were an outsider? It's an LA attitude. Why was it specifically difficult? Because you're talented. You didn't get the break.
I don't feel, and this is horrible, and all my LA friends are going to I'm going to be getting texts. They're going to burn on my phone.
Please.
It's not about talent. It really isn't about talent out there.
That's why we are in TV and radio for so long, Joe.
We're here.
And then they figured it out, and we got kicked to the curb.
It's really difficult to you have to know people. You have to build a network, and I found out years later. I ended up in the metal scene. I went out there with this dream of being like Verdine White. I wanted to replace...
You look like you walked off a fireman's calendar. Yeah. I mean, you're Mr. November.
Well, with the little muffin top. Come on, let's be real.
What band were you hot after in those days? So we're talking the 80s, so this could have been
This is 87.
This is white hot Los Angeles with the hair bands.
Okay, so my dream when I went out there, when I was driving my car from Virginia to Los Angeles, was that Verdine White would retire from Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I would be his successor.
There you go.
Easy. And then I would be doing records, and I would be, doing sessions, and I'd be in the R&B scene, and I'd be working in jazz, and none of that happened.
Now.
And I'd get into some jazz circles, and I wasn't breaking in like I thought I would. Or that's what I tell Amy all the time. I do these amazing gigs with these musicians that I listen to back in Virginia on records, and I do a gig with them. We get our $50. And go home. And I'm like, this is it? This is what I drove to LA for? So and after a year or two, I fell into the metal scene. I make it sound like I was like on drugs. I fell into this rock scene, this big hair rock scene, because I had long hair and bass players were not, they were not a dime a dozen. Guitar players were. Mm-hmm. So I fell into some great bands, and I started playing at the Roxy and the Whiskey and the Troubadour and I did that whole scene, the whole big hair scene. And we had like a rehearsal space next to Racer X. That's Paul Gilbert from Mr. Big. His band, that's the scene we were in. It was a trip.
Who are your influences?
My influences are like Stanley Clarke, Marcus Miller, Jaco Pastorius, and then some of my buddies, Victor Wooten, Keith Horn, some of the cats that I ended up, growing up with were highly influential on me. And Vic's like one of the baddest cats on the planet.
Gene Simmons?
Gene Simmons was why I play bass. Hello.
My confirmation name is Gene.
It is.
I told my dad it was after his middle name, which was Gene. Do you think I'm going to heaven or hell? What I mean,
but it was spelled Jeanne, right?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. All right.
Jeanne.
Common sense would tell you not to look to Joe and John for this, but time for life lessons from Joe and John.
We never did answer the question how you got with Mickey. So I figured let's just slide that into life lessons.
It's the bull. It's the Red Bull.
Yeah, he's cranked.
All right, across the street from you guys is a lovely establishment called the Lipstick Lounge.
Yes.
Sometime around 2006, I was playing gigs in there with Rhonda and Jonda, the owners. And the guitar player was a gentleman from New York City named Wayne Avers. And Wayne's job was he was the guitar player for the Monkees and Mickey Dolenz. And the Monkees they'd split up. They'd get arguing, and Dave would go in his band, and Mickey'd have his band, and Peter had whatever band he'd get his hands on. But Wayne's world was around Mickey, and we were doing gigs over there, and he knew at the time I was playing with Donna Summer, and I was playing with Wynonna. I had just been playing with Rick Springfield, so he knew I could go out and do that high level of performance. And they lost a bass player. Sorry, that's the bull coming back to me. They had lost their bass player. He said, "Do you want to go out one weekend? I need somebody to cover for us." So we flew out I stayed up all night long. So I did a gig at Lipstick. I had charted all the songs. I stayed up all night practicing after Lipstick, got out to the airport, flew to Seattle, and that's where the gig was. I slept for like 2 hours that afternoon, went to sound check, did the show, just read it. And he was like, "You know what? You were great. If you want to do some more of these, let me know." And I'm like, "Yeah, sign me up." So at that time, I was bouncing around between artists, but of course, no artist is ever working constantly. So you could go off and do something on this weekend, go out with them on that weekend. A few years later, Wayne is like, "If you want this gig, it's yours. It's all yours. Just whatever. Just let me know when you want to do it." And that's literally how it started. That was in 2007.
Yeah.
The Monkees reformed, and then I got pulled into that.
Was Wayne who I saw play here at Franklin Theater, or you got another
Yes,
guy now?
that was
Wow.
Wayne. We had two
Well,
guitar
great.
players, but
Yep.
Wayne's the guy was right next to me.
Sure. Amazing band. You guys
yeah.
were tight as could be.
It's a great band.
Mickey Dolenz's voice still strong, and his sister sings with him.
Yeah.
And great comedy. Great. You guys, and what type of tour? We'll stick with Mickey for a second. Does he just do a summer gig, take the winters off?
No, I mean, he's the kind of guy who works all year long. It's always weekend warrior stuff. We'll take off on a Thursday, come home Sunday or Monday, do a gig or two. He likes to spread out a day between if he can pull that off. It's the travel gig is hard for him.
Sure.
So we like to usually do a gig. Next day, we always go, that's a day off. It's not a day off. That's when we travel.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then he'll have that evening off and he can kind of recuperate. And then we'll play. So we'll do, 4 to 6 in a month. But this next year, 2026, is the 60th anniversary of the Monkees.
There we go.
So dates are coming in. He's reached out to all of us, like, you guys have any ideas about guests who could sit in or song ideas? Like, so he's crafting the next year. It's going to be exciting.
That's terrific.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Do you? I just saw Government Cheese 40th anniversary.
Yes.
Great drummer. You played
Let's
third
get-
in Lindsley. You probably played. Third
Oh yeah,
Lindsley?
I lived there
I mean, if you,
with the Wooten brothers forever.
Oh, that's right.
but is it one of these where you're on at 9, done at 10? I mean, these guys have a curfew now. You know, I mean, because you guys are not. You're not doing the rock and roll lifestyle, right?
Oh, no,
or
no.
are you?
Oh well, I'm a late bloomer when it comes to alcohol. So the other guys in the band are teetotalers because they have to be, and I always go, well, I got a few more years in me left. So me and Mickey will hit the bar and we'll have a few, libations. Mickey's, he's had the rock and roll lifestyle his whole life. It's burned in. It's burned in, and a guy can still get up and go and do his thing. It's amazing.
Well, it's amazing the people in his time. He was as big as anyone. I mean, he could not leave his house without being mobbed type scenario. And
He was doing it Circus Boy. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, he says he was a little kid, and his dad was an actor. So his dad, he's been in show business his entire life.
good stuff, John.
All right.
Rapid fire. Pew, 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 pew. Rapid fire.
My wife, when we went to YouTube,
were
wanted
those-
me to do that for
What
that
were those
stinger.
moves we just did?
I know. I just sprained something.
Leave your comment. So this YouTube channel, if you're on YouTube, it's Second Cup of Joe and John. And if you're not, you can go to YouTube and Google it. That's how it works.
Rapid fire.
Here we go. Am I up first?
Give me one thing in your life that has exceeded your expectations
Wow.
besides marrying Amy.
You took the
Go
number
on.
one
I
thing.
know, I did.
Come on. This airport experience, I really didn't know what to expect, and I didn't expect anything that happened from it. It far exceeded everything. It started in 2018 from a conversation that Amy had with my boss at the airport. I was playing bass in some of the bands you see at the airport, and I had to go do my badging, security paperwork, and Amy, she's the walking entrepreneur.
Right.
Like, she's going to walk in here and go, where do you think they get these cameras from? I should make my own cameras. Yeah, that's
right.
Amy.
Yeah. Let's make a movie.
She was walking through the airport with me going, how do you get a store in here? And I go, I don't know.
She said that you called her a visionary.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Is that, I mean, she is truly an
Well,
entrepreneur, which is the biggest compliment you can get.
I'm walking through the airport just to go see somebody and get paperwork done. She's walking through the airport and she sees nothing but opportunity all around her. And sometimes you're like, okay, I've had enough now. I'm just walking. But she, from that day, and a 10-minute, it wasn't even 10 minutes, it was a 5-minute conversation with my boss, led to our store in the Nashville airport all these years later.
That's great. The people come to you.
It's a captive audience.
Pretty
We got
good.
them walking in.
John, if you could write a book, what would it be about?
Oh my gosh. I would say it'd be about redemption. That's a big part of my life is redemption. Or trying to achieve I feel like it's not a destination, it's a journey. Always trying to do better, trying to make up for some, mistakes in the past. Trying to just improve on myself.
Nice.
That would probably be what it'd be.
What is the first movie that you remember being scared?
Holy crap. Yes, Salem's Lot. It's still, I get goosebumps thinking about it. It kind of creeps me out. And
I
that's
don't know why. How do I not? We're all the same.
David Soul is in Salem's Lot.
of Starsky and Hutch.
Yes, and that kid that was in all the Disney movies.
Kurt Russell.
It wasn't Kurt.
Maybe.
It was another guy. When you
Okay.
see him, you'll go, "Oh, I know who he's
That's
talking
that
about."
kid.
He was like contracted with Disney, so he was in every movie. He and David Soul are vampire killers in this movie. Well, they become vampire killers, and I saw that as a kid, and it still haunts me to this day.
Good. Well, you're going to be haunted tonight. I brought that back
Look
for
at
you.
my heart.
You're jacked up on Red Bull. You ain't
Jacked
sleeping
on
until
Red
5
Bull.
a.m. anyway.
What's you're very obviously mild-mannered, nice guy, but what gets your temper going?
Oh yeah, inappropriate behavior on the road.
Like, well, what would that be?
Well, yeah, we need an example.
Could be.
I mean, I think I've had. I could probably tell us some stories. I have to.
Edit?
Save for the book.
Yeah, or just bury. They have to go with me. But I remember we had a member of the entourage in one of the bands I was in, and it was a lady, and she liked to drop the name of the band to try to curry favor with the airlines, and she would travel with an instrument, and she'd want to get the instrument on board, and she had all this gear, and they would go, no, you get 2 items, that's it. And she would cry, have a fit, and start going, I play with so-and-so. And we literally, everybody in the gate that's in the band, we would all one by one sloth off, drop off, and go to another gate and just get away. That drives me crazy.
Could she get away with it? Was she hot? I mean,
she was not hot.
No.
Well, that's a problem.
No.
Not hot.
And a pain in the ass.
And a pain in the
And
ass.
pain in the ass. That's exactly right.
Shocking she didn't get away. My final question. Have you ever asked for an autograph when you were a kid? And if so, who? Or did you have a brush with greatness besides Mickey?
You know, I'm always funny about asking for autographs. And pictures. I'm always embarrassed, and Amy always is kicking me afterwards. Like, why didn't you ask? Autograph. I can't think of one that I've ever kept. Meeting people, meeting De Niro, and hanging with Robert De Niro was the moment of my life. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
We were so close to not getting the explicit.
I'm so
you
sorry.
delivered the pizza. I
delivered the pizza. No. I did a Donna Summer gig, and it was for his child's school. It was a fundraiser. And Donna and Robert have this history. They've known each other forever. And I think Robert has always had. I mean, who among us has not had a crush on Donna Summer? I mean, she's insanely beautiful and cool. Yeah. And Bobby D definitely did. So he'd have us come and play this event, and then he would literally go around and thank everybody, every single person. And it was the end of the night. Me and the guitar player are all alone in our little dressing room. Everyone's gone. We're just talking, gabbing, and Robert De Niro walked in and just goes, "Hey guys, just want to thank you. This was so much fun." And he's really awkward. He's really sweet.
Yeah.
But he's really one word.
Right.
Thank you.
Is he a short guy too?
He's a little shorter. Like I imagine my De Niro.
Right.
My De Niro is Godfather 2 De Niro. My De Niro
You talking
is
to
heat.
me?
Yeah, my De Niro is heat. Like he terrifies me.
Right.
That scene with him and I almost said Dustin Hoffman. It wasn't Dustin Hoffman. His co-star
Kurt Russell.
No, yeah, the dude from Disney. And Heat, was Robert De Niro and
not Carol O'Connor. Who was?
Italiano.
It's all going to be in the comment section on YouTube. They're like, you idiots!
There's a moment.
This guy, David Soul.
Yeah, no, Starsky. They're in the same movie, but they're never in the same scene except for twice. And one of the scenes is when they're sitting at a diner table, and the cop, Bobby goes, look, if it's one of those ones where he goes, if I got to do what I got to do, I'm going to do what I got to do. And the other guy goes, well, I got to do what I got to do. Basically meaning if it comes to it, I'm going to kill you. Mm-hmm. And that scene at that diner, I'm in my room, my dressing room with Bobby De Niro going, that's not what's playing out here.
That's not that guy.
This is really awkward.
What shows how good he is. That would be fun for him to act like he would want to be, but he's not.
He's just a regular guy, and he was so sweet and kind. He took a picture with us, and then I said, Mr. De Niro, I got to get a photo. And me and the guitar player stand by each other, and I hold my camera up this way, and he goes, cheese.
Oh, come on,
He
man.
did
is
it
awkward.
twice.
That is awkward.
It was very awkward. Then I'm like,
and he wears those goofy glasses. Like, why wouldn't you buy some cool glasses? Some cheapo wire frames. Well, that's an interesting story.
Final question for you?
Final question for you, and we ask everybody, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self now?
wow, don't do bad things. They always come back to haunt you. No, just trust in the process. Everything's going to work out. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But just stay on the path, and the path's going to look like a zigzag, but it's going to get you to where you want to be.
Nice. Oh, magic dust. You don't think that businesses, they zero in on one thing and we're going to be good at this. At Two Rivers Ford, they're the Renaissance business. They can do it all. They can do the mobile oil change. You need a fleet. You need 2 trucks, F-150s. You need 50 trucks. They are the best commercial sellers. They know what they do. They're family owned. There's no commission. They check every box, Joe. And I have the personal experience with my Mustang and yours. And you have like a fleet of cars. You go back like to the 1983 when they started it in Mount Juliet. Anyway, I'm just so proud of what they do. And if you don't believe it, go out there, test drive, go out and walk out, challenge them. Go out there and meet the people. It's just a different experience.
And something for everyone. And the inventory is huge. So an SUV, maybe it's one of the E-Rides, the Lightning, the F-150. The Ford F-150 is the greatest selling pickup truck for 48 years. Go see the Lightning, the electric truck. And when you finance through Ford, they'll give you that home charger for free. One place online, tworivers.com. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Joe and John have come to the fork in the road.
John, you have had a colorful career. It continues. Wonderful wife. Give me something where maybe it was an audition you didn't get, or what fork that kind of sticks out that you would not be here.
The list of stuff that I lost far surpasses the list of things that I got. And the things that I got, I didn't go after. The only thing that I ever went out and auditioned for and I didn't want to audition. It was Donna Summer. So I got a call I was over here in East Nashville. I was on my buddy's couch. I'd been here 2 months, and I got a call from a drummer, and he said, "Can you fill in? Can you read music?" "Yes, I can read music." "Could you fill in for my bass player buddy? We have a rehearsal that we've got to do, and he's got a birthday, and he wants to go to his birthday with his wife, and we need somebody to play bass and can read." And I went, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll come on down. Right now? Okay, I'm on my way." And I go down to the old SIR downtown. It's no more.
No, it's not.
No more. It's flattened.
What a centerpiece, though, of Nashville town. It's where all bands would go. They have huge rooms. You could have Peter Frampton rehearsing for his tour. I mean, everybody would tour rehearse there.
That room changed my whole life. That changed everything. That's where it all happened. So I walk in, and there's 2 other bass players.
Sorry, that's our
car
house
alarm.
dog Lola who
that's
wants to go home.
It's my car alarm.
I'm so sorry. We'll edit that out.
That's okay.
No, we won't.
But I showed up, and I thought I was going to be, working for free, helping somebody out. And when I walked in, I passed the bass player. I said, "Hey, happy birthday! Have a good time tonight. I got you covered." And he goes, "If they offer you the job, take it." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Take it. I'll see you later." And I was like, "That's odd." And I walk in. There's 2 other bass players there. And then somebody walks up and goes, "We couldn't tell you what this was for. We didn't want word getting out and people coming down here. This is an audition." And I was like, insert F-bomb. I'm out. And one of the other guys, who has a buddy of mine now, John Howard, goes, "Hey, man, you know what? You're here. What do you got to lose? Just stick around, do it. They'll be back home in an hour." So I hear them go in. They go and they do their auditions. I hear them playing. I hear the songs. I'm like, "Oh, this is Donna Summer music. Wow, I know that. Yeah, okay." And the stuff's all written out, note for note. The musical director who wrote that music was there doing the audition. So I'm like, "Well, I better read this." I read it. I overplayed. I did everything I could possibly do to kind of go, F you musically.
Yeah.
Overplayed, slap, and there's no slap bass in Donna Summer music. I did it all, and if you listen to Donna Summer music, there's no slap bass. It doesn't exist. But I was like, all of it. And like, "Peace out, I'm done." And the musical director comes up, and all 3 of us are sitting in the hallway together, and he goes, "You're the one I choose," and he points to me, and I go, "Well, that's kind of asinine. That's not cool." And he goes, "And you can do it. If he doesn't want to do it, you get to do it. We don't have any time. This is how it's going to go." And I was literally going, "This is crazy." And John Howard and the other guy go, "Dude, take the gig. It's a gig. Go." Sure. And I went, "Okay, I'll do it." And then I marched back in the room. We had a rehearsal.
Why were you against auditioning?
It wasn't that I was against audition. I would have gladly gone down there. And I've done a lot of auditioning in L.A., like for Cher and different things. They're cattle calls. I never got anything. And the worst one was I went out for what at the time was what they called the Japanese Rolling Stones. It was a rock band that was huge in Japan, which sounds like a Spinal Tap story already, right? And they came to the States because they wanted to have an American bass player. And I went in and auditioned. I saw the other guy in the room as I walked in. It's just me and another guy. And that other guy had hair to, his thighs. And I played. We had a great rapport. They don't speak any English. But, you're playing music. It's universal. Right. Everything went great. I left the room, and then I get a call the next day from my friend who had lined this whole thing up. And she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. They went with the other guy." And I went, "Oh, I thought It went really well. That's too bad. And I said, is there something I did or didn't do? She goes, yeah, the other guy had better hair.
Oh.
And so I have a bad attitude about
That's
auditions.
crossing the line.
I have very
you
bad.
probably
It
had,
was the
and
80s.
you still have.
I had great hair.
Great hair. You look too American. You were too apple pie. You know what? You're
was
too
terrible.
good looking. What you need is an
Yeah,
industrial
that's it.
accident,
Too
as they
good looking.
said in About Last Night movie.
Stop me, Rupp.
But yeah, I have kind of a yeah, exactly. That's it. That's great.
Did you go there?
Canceled. We're canceled in
We are
Japan.
No, that's how they said. That's what they sang. I've heard this band. What?
They were great.
My little rock and roll. Do you need to press a button
There
or
went your-
something, John?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Japan
we can
Just
do
press
that.
a button
Yeah,
over
we're gonna do that. We're gonna go to this. Oh, Joe.
You gotta wear shades.
Our first
that-
YouTube, and you pull that crap.
who cares?
Okay.
So you brought it up, but a little bit the most important question about a bass player is: do you slap, finger, or pick?
Well, it always depends on the situation. You know that.
Is there ointment for that? What? I don't have no idea.
John always pays extra for that. So
Depends on if it's infected.
Yeah.
and explain the difference and why you would use one or the other.
Way back in the dawn of time of R&B music, when you had funk, you had Larry Graham, and Larry Graham used to he played in the church of his mom, and she was a B3 player, and he was the bass player, and he learned how to just bang on the bass to simulate kick drum and a snare, and while playing bass, and they called it slap bass or thump bass, and it became kind of a thing in the 70s, and people expounded on it. Ironically, Larry's still like the king of all of it. You know, some people like will surpass. Larry's still the king. He's amazing. It's so grooving and funky. But so the slap bass became a thing kind of up into the 80s. Like the end of it I always go was Kaja Gugu. Too shy to shy. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
That
sure.
was
Oh,
like the
yeah.
last
Too
time you
shy
ever
to
heard
shy.
slap funky bass
I
on a
have to listen
song.
to that. Okay.
You know,
And, or if you, one of my favorites, a Government Cheese played with one time, Primus, Les Claypool.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know who that is, look up Primus, Les Claypool.
man, he takes it.
He
a
takes
whole other place.
And it's got like 90 strings on the bass, and he's got slapping going on. He's picking, I mean, just
And
an amazing
singing.
guy.
and singing. It's
And
amazing.
singing.
So we played Future So Bright, Timbuk 3-ish.
Yeah.
We don't have the copyright, so we
No
did
slap.
the cheap thing.
We'll just
But
imagine
Gotta
it
wear
as-
shades. But UNA, what's the next? You're going to do the Mickey thing, which is
Yeah.
going to be fantastic. But you guys are kind of in a groove. Shoot the business at the National
Yeah,
International
it's been
Airport,
wonderful.
which has been so. This is kind of a good time for you.
It's a great time for me and Amy. We're in the second part of our lives, second marriages. Everything
All been
clicked. It clicked later in our lives for both of us. You know, I kind of felt like I had hit like a plateau in my life. She was in a not great place in her life, and when we both got in this new life of ours and met and connected, everything started to kind of come together, come into place. And we started working together as soon as we were dating. She was booking acts to come in, or artists to come into my studio, and finding things for me to do. And if I had a contract or any kind of like any paper I had to sign, I'm horrible at that. But she loves that. She loves to read the details, and she likes to maneuver. So I always show her my all contracts, all my any kind of a production stuff I had to do. Yeah, she's great.
She told us the story of how you met, and there was a club downtown, and she wasn't going to go.
Sambuca.
Sambuca?
Sambuca.
I've seen you many times. I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah,
but
I've played there
I
1,000
got my
times.
male there. I got my female there. No, I'm just kidding.
You'll feel lucky. So she didn't want to be a part of this. You were there.
Oh, yeah.
I think you finally walked over and forced the situation.
She stood me
perhaps.
up,
Yeah,
man.
stood you up. That's what it was. And then everything just kind of clicked in from there.
One of my buddies that was there in the club ratted her out. He texted me from the
Yeah.
stage. He was playing guitar, and he goes, "Hey, I thought Amy wasn't coming. She's here." And I put on my little jacket, and I sent I put a text in my phone, but I didn't hit send yet. And I lived just down on Franklin Road. I lived a couple of miles away, right when 8th turns into the Franklin Road.
Right, down by
And I
Zany.
jumped in my car. I hit send as I was going up 8th Avenue, and I said, "Don't you move. I'm on my way. I heard you're there." And she was just horrified. And then by the time she's getting this and like assimilating what's going on, I'm already parked. Valet walked right in the door, and that was it.
There was also some Facebook stalking, I think. Wasn't there some of that? Like you were,
she
people were
vetted
doing
me.
a vetting. Yeah,
She vetted me. It was horrible.
Well, I would vet you if I mean,
by the time you got there, you recognized John. Now it was John sitting next to her, moving in his
no.
fancy
and I
jacket and tie. Oh, you
just
were married then. You were probably single back then.
Oh no, Amy always had them. She had a swarm of them. They were always swarming around, and I'm like, who are these men?
Yeah. Oh, moths to a flame.
Who are these men? Well, John, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know,
sir.
you
Thank
set your sights. You've put in the time. You've been across the country. Now you're traveling the country and getting paid for it. That's the best part, I think, you know, as a musician,
amazing.
to show up and the place is full and you're actually making a good paycheck and you get to be around fellow great players.
Yeah,
is
it's
really
wonderful.
great.
It's a gift. It's a blessing, and I don't take it for granted because I've had it all go away before, so I know what that's like, you know. And every gig, I used to say with Donna Summer, I used to say every gig's your last because you don't know what's going to happen along the way. You know, I didn't see her for a year, and she passed away. She did. We did. None of us knew that she was sick. Mm-hmm. We just thought she took time off, and then I got a call one afternoon from the keyboard player, and he goes, "I'm not really even supposed to talk about it because they didn't want to tell anybody." But she's gone, and you're going to hear about it in the news in a couple hours. And I mean, that's how I found out about that. You know, we've lost Michael Nesmith. We knew Michael was ill. He was
From
really,
the Monkees,
really ill.
right?
Yeah, Michael was ill in that last tour that we did, and we did like the movie Get Him to the Greek. We got him to the Greek, got him to that show, and then after that, he was gone. I don't know, 6 weeks later, something like that. So you know, every gig is not the next gig is not guaranteed.
I would say that as we wrap this up, that we all in our lives now. You're 45. What do you?
I just turned 59, baby.
59.
You're in our genre. No,
look at these knees.
No, you're strikingly handsome. But we have perspective. I think. Do we want do-overs in our life? But when we started this podcast, you're close to 100. The 100th episode, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I mean,
so.
And this is what number 1 or 2 of YouTube.
Well, you know, everyone's been doing this for 20 years. We're getting in there. Yeah. We're catching, you know.
Yeah. So we have of Dead Leg Media.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Chase
right, that's right.
Akers
Put it on
is the guy
shot.
that can
Where's
do. Yeah,
Chase?
there.
Lean in there.
Yeah, there he is.
is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There he is.
All right.
There he is.
Yeah, he's not going to get a microphone. Okay,
Why?
This is one step. This is one step at a time. He just gets to because he's got a SAG
headset.
card. We're going to have to pay him and everything like that. But anyway, hey, it's been a delight.
This has
I'm
been
so
great.
glad.
Thank you, guys.
When you came, you dropped AIM off, I
Yeah.
think, and you came upstairs and you were like, little puppy. I wonder if they'll have me. No, they were not at all. Not at all. You went over to Lipstick and
I said, please,
and got kicked out.
Let me come back. Well, I reached out to John, and you two had dinner plans tonight.
That's right.
And you're traveling, so you guys got a busy schedule. So thanks for rearranging
you.
that schedule. And John, you and Amy and your travels, may God bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you. And we're grateful that you showed up today. Thank you.
On the Second Cup of Joe and John.
It's the Second Cup of Joe
I'm going to turn
and
down the mics.
John as their guests expound on any and all topics within the realm of decency. Want to be a sponsor? Let a TV and radio guy help build your business. Email the show, secondcupofjoeandjohn@gmail.com. Now, hold on tight and grab another Second Cup of Joe and John.